All right, guys, so the 11th anniversary countdown has officially begun. This is actually re-recording because I messed up the first time, but let's hop right in. There's a lot of cool stuff in this countdown. This banner, for example, looks really interesting to me. I think it seems like, you know, this actually might be some pretty decent value. Of course, I recommend waiting for the actual anniversary banners to drop, but we may do a video on this. Now, next, I want to talk about this. This is the primary thing about this video, the redstone selection here. So we're pretty much just going to go through every single character available in the redstone selection and talk about whether or not I think that you should pick some of these. A lot of this has been updated and a lot of these characters are actually quite good right now, so I do recommend to pick them up. This is actually a very good value banner overall, so this is really nice to see that we're able to get just like crazy nice value from the red dragon stone this year. Really huge update just in general, so that's very exciting. Let's take a look here. First and foremost, we have, I guess, just like this image, just like kind of showing us a bunch of the characters available. Let's just move over to the Baba shop. Whenever my cord wants to just like, you know, activate again, that'd be really great. All right, so we're gonna go down the line here for every single character available with the redstone. So we have 4 redstones available already, and in fact you could get a 5th redstone if you do have all of the milk available, which, you know, if I actually need to finish my run today, but I do get the 30th milk. But you're able to get this extra redstone, so you can have 5 available currently, which is pretty good, if not more, when, you know, you continue doing the daily Roshi event. That's really important for you to do. So one time only, you're able to grab a lot of these characters, but we see here LR Super 17 is actually a pretty decent option right now. This guy is not like a crazy character, but I definitely could see him help you out in certain situations. See, someone in chat has 7 right now, so like, again, a lot of people are more on top of some of these things than I have been recently, I'm not gonna lie, but it's all good. Ajo Golden Frieza, I think this guy is probably going to be one of the better choices for your redstone. This guy is really good. I think he's going to age very well. Turn 1, he has guard and 90% damage reduction. Then his follow-up turn, he's going to have 80% damage reduction. And I believe if he stays on rotation, he'll basically, no matter what, even if you flow him or keep him on rotation, he will continue to have that 80% reduction. He only has the guard for the first turn. He does have 100% defense for the first 3 turns though, so if you keep him on rotation, he'll take advantage of that. But it's going to be extremely hard to power creep this guy in terms of him being like a turn 1 character. And as long as he's able to live normals on a second appearance, he'll also be just fine, man. And he doesn't even have to necessarily be in slot 1, so this guy is really good, honestly. Tech Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. This character, again, another modern EZA that we received in 2025. This guy, I feel like, is actually pretty good as well. I feel like he's going to be really nice for longer events. Keep in mind, he is a stacking character. He does, well, it doesn't show you this with here because this is pre-EZA details. But upon his EZA, he does actually stack defense. So that is actually pretty nice. The ability to just have an extra stacking character depending on the situation. He has a 50% defense stack, so that's going to be really huge. And in these longer fights, if you have a Goku on the team that's a movie heroes, he's going to give this Gohan quite a lot of juice. And, you know, think of like Tech Carnival Goku. Like, imagine a rotation of like Tech EZA Carnival Goku and maybe this guy in a long fight. They actually might be pretty decent. I can see this guy, if we shift into like longer fights, being a decent option, honestly. So that's really nice to see. Into Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. This guy's, so far, I feel like he is he's probably like the second best character on this list behind Golden Frieza. I think this guy is really good right now. 70% chance to counter. He helps activate the AGL Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta intro as well. Like, he's just an astounding unit. And even at 55%, I feel like he will be a pretty decent option overall. And again, he also costs the 3 Dragon Stones, but I think he's worth it because he's just so good. Like, him and LR Golden Frieza are 100% worth the 3 stones price tag. I feel like 17 and this Gohan, although they're really good, I'm not sure if I would say they're as worth it compared to Frieza and Gogeta. In my opinion, I wouldn't pick Fusion Zamasu. He's not really that great. Yamcha is another character that's going to age very well, but he doesn't really ever have a lot of setups, and his link set's not the greatest. But if you're a huge fan of dodge characters, this guy is actually really nice. He has basically guaranteed dodge on his first turn. He does need to get like a certain amount of rainbow key spheres and things like that, but he's able to cook. And as long as he's able to dodge in a certain stage, I feel like this guy is going to be very consistently good as well. I am actually quite a fan of this Yamcha. I think he's like a good character. Ajo Ginyu's completely just like dog water. Do not even attempt to grab him. Count Caulifla, they're not really that great anymore. Like, we're getting to these characters like, yeah, no, dude, the last three characters are stinkers. Oh, look at that. Ew. The last three characters are like, okay. This character was good when she EZA'd, but it was a while ago at this point. I just feel like, I guess they could still be decent, honestly. Maybe I'm overreacting. They could still be okay in like festival. But I just don't think that their defense is high enough right now. Maybe they need like another setup, but I guess they're not too bad. Maybe let me chill. This character though, like, he's decent at best, but he's not really that great. Like, when we compare, oh, should I get hit on God Goku or in Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, bro? Like, that's what we're comparing it to. I'm thinking about like the 3 redstone dragons, the 3 redstone price, man. A lot of that thought process was Ginyu, though. Ginyu's actually really bad. This guy is like terrible, but these two are okay. I just don't think they're worth the 3 redstone price, especially like, again, we got Yamcha, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, Golden Frieza here. Those 3 characters are really worth your stones. I just like don't think the rest you really even consider, in my opinion. But next we have Gohan and Goten, and then the Angel Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta. Now, these guys are here because they have the limited time boost, but you are able to grab them. You are able to grab them multiple times, so excuse me, I coughed. They are actually pretty decent with their boosts, but they're nothing crazy. I think the Super Saiyan 2 Angel Vegeta, in the current time, he's actually quite good with his limited time boost, but I don't really recommend grabbing these characters unless you have like everyone else, because they are limited time boosted. Once the anniversary ends, their boost will be gone. I don't really think there's a point in grabbing them because their boosts are going away. So like, what reason is there to have these characters? I don't think there's really any reason to kind of obtain them over other characters or even dupes of like in Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, because once their boosts go away, they'll be pretty obsolete. So now next we have some super EZAs. So AGL Majin Vegeta, he's okay. He's like a decent option, but he's nothing too crazy. Same with like STR LR Broly. Funny enough, if it was going to be between these 3 super EZAs, I think LR Goten and Trunks is actually a decent option because of the fact that this guy will be able to have the 77% chance to dodge, I believe, on the youth team. Like, if you really like running the youth team, this guy is going to be a staple for that team, like the It Hybrid setup. But it is a niche setup, and they're pretty much good on just that one team. But in comparison to STR Broly and AGL Majin Vegeta, I probably do like Goten and Trunks a little better. Just, I think their peak is able to reach kind of higher valleys, right? STR Super Saiyan 4 Goku is actually a decent option as well, and I see a lot of people were saying, you know, oh, I don't really like this guy. I only had mine 55%. You know, considering he's just 1 red Dragonstone, I think getting 3 copies of this guy with 3 Dragonstones is not the worst thing ever. I think, you know, again, if you don't have like Ajo Golden Frieza or maybe in Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and you already own this guy, it's probably not really as worth it. But like, let's say you get 2 dupes of this guy with 2 Dragonstones. That's not bad. I think that's a pretty fair deal. This guy actually is able to do some decent stuff in certain content. I feel like in the artificial life forms red zone, this guy can struggle a bit, but he's still pretty good in some of the other stages that we've seen. So it's possible that this guy might actually be useful in some of the 11th anniversary content, but you don't have to grab anyone with the redstones at the beginning of the anniversary. You could always wait until later on. Now, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, he's very situational. Like, in very niche situations, he can be a decent option. But for the most part, again, I don't really see the reason to grab this guy, especially over Super Saiyan 4. SDR Omega is really good in fights that lower attack, but I feel like most fights you just can't do that. So whilst he's nice for the Omega team, he's like a character that you're not gonna pick unless you can attack lore. And even on the Omega team, there's turns where he might not even get links, which does really suck. So he's like, he could look good, but again, it is depending on what you're trying to beat, I think, right? When it comes to grabbing him. I feel like Physical Vegito Blue and AGL Rose kind of didn't age the best. Like post GDC, I feel like they came out and it was like, oh, they're pretty good, but then like I feel like GDC content dropped. Physical Vegito Blue, I tried him, I think in the Tamagami fight, he did not really do too well. The reason why is because he only has, how much damage reduction does Physical VB have? At the top of my head, I don't think he has that much. He has 60% damage reduction. Yeah, again, like I took him in Tamagami fight. This guy took a lot of damage from normals, bro. For Physical VB, I feel like he kind of like didn't age the best. I mean, some in the chat said they've been getting a lot of use out of him. So if you don't have him, you can take advantage of him. He's good in Bio Broly and Gammas. I have not tried him there, so you know I'll trust your judgment if you think he's good in Bio Broly and Gammas. I just like, to be fair, I'm talking about Tamagami 1, which is type disadvantage. This guy doesn't guard. I think he might actually be a decent option in the hybrids fight as well. The Rose Goku Black and Zamasu fight, he counters Rose, which does really hurt, honestly. But he does provide 2-turn support, 40% attack and defense. He does have Rainbow Orb changing, and he even has dodge when you're under 70% HP or less. He could get an 80% chance to dodge against Super, so he's actually probably a pretty decent option, in all things considered. I guess, right? But I just feel like, you know, maybe they could have been a little bit stronger. Adria Rose is also like a decent option. Same with Physical VB. He does also have the option of the, well, I guess we can't really see it right here, but if I'm not mistaken, he also will have the option to provide a 2-turn critical hit chance buff. He's always just supporting all allies as well, but that first and second hit could be pretty dangerous for him, and that does reset every turn. So since these bosses hit so hard even on normals, I feel like Rose, like in Bio Broly, could struggle. I haven't tried him in like the Gammas fight, but yeah, I'm not sure what this guy's going to be doing. But like, again, there probably are like decent options that are better. But then again, like, you know, Kaioken Blue Goku, Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. I heard Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta isn't even that good on like Bio Broly and he's type advantage. Like Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta just didn't really get the best EZA, unfortunately. Blue Kaioken Goku is very low HP reliant, just like Tech Blue Kaioken Goku, so that really sucks. Int Gohan, he's okay. He's like a decentish option. Tech Cell, you could probably get away with in these situations. These two as well, I feel like, you know, their EZAs could have been a little better. In Janemba and STR Gogeta, like I don't really see myself using STR Gogeta anymore, honestly. I don't really see myself using Int Janemba anymore. Like you could use Int Janemba sometimes, but I don't know. I just don't like see where they're going to be providing that much compared to other characters that exist currently. But they are just one stone. So if you do want them and you don't own them, that can be fine. AGL Super Vegito, same thing, but Int Buhan actually has aged, I think, quite well. This guy's actually pretty decent because he has built in, and I can't show that on the screen, but this guy does actually have 66% damage reduction built in. He has guaranteed crits. He's a nuking character. He has a lot of really good villain links. Like I see people use this guy, like kind of similar to Omega, where if you're able to attack, debuff an enemy, this guy has multiple greatly lower attacks in his kit because he could do multiple super attacks. So like he's actually not a bad option himself. Really funny. I think in Buhan actually is able to cook a little bit, and he also Rainbow Orb changes, so that's really nice. He provides healing. Like in Buhan was such a good easy on his release, and even now he has like some viability to him, right? So that's really nice. And then the rest of these guys, I just don't really recommend picking. They're just too old at this point, unless you don't own them and you have everyone else. But those are all the Redstone choices. I mean, honestly, some decent stuff in here. But really, if I'm gonna put in like the top 5 units to pick, Golden Frieza in Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. I would honestly say in Yamcha's in there too. Then after that, I mean, those are definitely top 3. I think like Tech Super Saiyan 2 Gohan is like a sleeper pick, and then S tier Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Like those are like the top characters I would pick. And some of the other characters I highlighted, again, you could bring up in these situations if you need them in missions, but I do like that. So that's kind of my picks overall for who you should go for in terms of the redstones. And again, you know, I didn't really talk about the bottom characters, but I just don't really think they're good enough to talk about at this point. They're just not worth it. Like everyone from before, like into Buhan and Age of Vegito, are just not worth mentioning because they're just so old at this point, unfortunately. So let me know what you guys are thinking, who you guys are picking, and catch you guys next time.